Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It kind of makes me sad that I have to speak so fast and I have to do all these persona based impressions to create videos and rather not be myself. But it is what it is. It's a fucking algorithm that makes you piss yourself and want to create content. That's what it is. It's fucking addiction. And today's video is why short form content is worse than addiction. It's going to make you dumb, it's going to devastate your life, and it's going to make you want to destroy yourself. In order to facilitate that, China has used a weapon. This weapon is called, this weapon is essentially a psychological plus technological weapon that it's using to not just take over the world but also trying to destroy the world. Not to spy on its enemies, but rather rot their brains or spoil their brains from within. That's the whole game plan that China is optimizing for. And number two, this weapon is called TikTok. It's a great thing that TikTok was banned in India, but still, short form content exists. But it is the reality we live in. We can't change that reality. So why not just have fun with it? In order to actually do this video and actually move forward, I have gotten video and let's see what all it tells us about. And begin.
I have a plan for you. It's gonna take over China and increase the maths, the science, and the culture.
Sir, what about outside China?
Outside of China, you say?
You saw that?
So you understand that, right? They created a psychological weapon that increases science, maths, and cultural perception of its Chinese native citizens. The Chinese nation is using that. But what about the rest of the world? It wants to increase the cringe. It wants to increase the addiction level of what can you do, the depravity of the mind. That's what it's trying to optimize for. And once you are trapped in that addiction, you can't really get out. That's the sad truth. So let's move forward.
With the advent of short form content and TikTok, it appears as if the first era of social media is coming to an end. Many people disregard short form content and especially TikTok as an app. But I'm here to explain why short form content is here to stay and how TikTok will be the social media platform of the future, even though you hate it and even though it is actually rotting your brain.
Didn't I tell you it's rotting your brain and you hate it, but you're still using it? And that is the true definition of being addicted to something that is trying to destroy you. Keep this in mind for the rest of the video going on as well. Okay? I hope you enjoy that.
This year, TikTok has been averaging more than 1 billion monthly active users. And what's more is that the time spent on TikTok is going up and up despite the pandemic already being over. When TikTok first became prominent, it was fantastic at capturing your attention for 5, 10 or 15 minutes with its addictive viral videos. But it had a problem. Users weren't sticking around for that long. But today, they are. As everyone began to stay home during the pandemic, TikTok's downloads jumped 51% year over year. And in 2022, TikTok became the most downloaded app in the world. Think about this, and this is insane. The average user today opens TikTok 8 times a day and
Fuck. 8 times a day, TikTok is being opened by those who have not yet banned, by in those countries that have not yet banned TikTok. 8 times a day. Think about opening a book 8 times and actually reading it for 10 minutes a day. How much advanced would you be? How much your learning would be compounding at? But no, we want the easy, tasty snacks which are like popcorn. You get what you deserve.
spends 25.6 hours a month in the app. That is more than the average for Facebook and Instagram. TikTok has definitely grown faster than anyone could have imagined. And as of June, TikTok is predicted to earn $12 billion in advertising revenue.
Annual revenue earned by TikTok only via advertising, $12 billion. dollars. Do you want to know what billion seconds is? 1 billion seconds is equal to 31 years. That's the whole time length of this thing.
The interesting thing is that just in the 6th year of their operations, they would have surpassed the $10 billion mark, a feat that took Facebook more than 10 years and YouTube 14 years. Instagram and Twitter, they're both just about halfway there.
Billion users, it took Facebook 10 years, it took YouTube 14 years. Like billion is a very big number. And even though we are a planet with a population of 8 billion people, this seems encompassing anything that you can ever imagine.
Yes, this company's success is astounding. And what's even more astounding is that in 2022, TikTok even overtook Google to emerge as the most popular domain in the world. Can you imagine being larger than Google? You see, TikTok is really winning because it's a consequence of our attention span decreasing. Our attention span now is less than 8 seconds, which is actually less than that of a goldfish.
Because the attention span of a goldfish is somewhere around 12 to 14 seconds. Human attention span is that of 8 seconds. But they are talking about the lowest common denominator, the most idiot and lowest IQ human being on the planet. The ones who are smart may have still attention spans of 10 minutes, 30 minutes. And those who are super smart, they have attention spans of hours, if not days. That's awesome kind of thing.
It is safe to say that most long form content, hopefully not ours, but most long form content is being dethroned by short form and TikTok, even though you and I don't like it. Now, it's not just our attention span that is the sole reason for this. It has to do with how the algorithm of TikTok has pivoted our feed into a hit-driven format. And this is the big difference with how social media used to work many years ago and today. So when Instagram decided to pivot into short-form content, the Kardashians got upset. They started putting up stories and posts about how they're feeling threatened and about how Instagram should go back to being a social media platform. All social media feeds are starting to become hit-driven. Twitter has always been hit-driven.
Absolutely.
YouTube, the reason for us growing very fast is because on almost every video in the last couple of months, we have been pulling more number of views
than the number of subscribers they have.
Than our subscriber count at that particular time by the end of life of the video. And the reason for this is because YouTube does not care any longer how many followers you have. If you can't produce quality content, if you can't retain the user, if you can't get them to click, it does not care about you.
Because that's the sad reality of the world. If I'm talking about, this is the most dystopian video you could ever come across, and one of the most dystopian, if not the most dystopian. But it is the truth, it is what it is. If you want to be smart, look at long form content and actually read. These are two small things you can do. But it's about creating a video which continuously provides you with some kinds of visual cues that gets you hooked. So in this video, I have seen every 3 seconds a graphic has been changes. Varun's position has been changing from left to right to left to right, so that the brain is able to not just want to look away from the video. Just keep on looking at the video. And for those who think they are getting smarter because of the content, they have also added subtitles in the video using Descript, so that those that want to read will end up reading. That's what I'm doing in this video, to be very honest with you.
What it does is that in the first few seconds of the video, TikTok does this within 6 seconds, YouTube takes a little bit longer, it will figure out whether this video is worth watching. How much attention are you gaining? If you have gained the attention of 30 people, then it will push it out to 100. If you gain the attention of 100 people, it pushes it out to 2,000. It keeps increasing the size and the diversity of the audience in every wave. So the old version of social media could not do that very quickly. Today's version of social media can all do that. That is why every video you need to put out needs to be a hit, and every video to the audience is an instant dopamine hit because they are the best content that you can probably get because of how the algorithm works. Let me put this into context. Let me tell you the 4 eras of media. First, it was newspapers and magazines, which Facebook dethroned as it was way more entertaining to see Friends news than random news.
So, okay. what he started talking about is actually quite interesting if you get the gist of this. Newspapers and media, they used to use headlines, the most outrage, the most dangerous, the most that get you reading headlines to get your attention. That was the hack that media and newspapers used. Facebook said, you know what, we'll also give you some sort of visual cues of what your friends are up to. That's the kind of news we want to provide you. Let's personalize the news to an extent that you don't want to look away from. That was the Facebook's game. Instagram said, just remove text altogether. Let's just put in photos. Photos of the most aesthetically appealing, the most visually beautiful photos of people that you cannot get in touch with. And finally, TikTok, which says every content has to be a hit. If it's a hit, we will push it to the platform and get it for other people to see. If it's not a hit, it's not worth watching and we will not promote you. That's the whole game.
Which brings me to Instagram, which killed Facebook as people were finding influencers like the Kardashians way more interesting. Because your friends are not as interesting as what's happening in the Kardashians' lives. Your friends can't compete with them. Today, it's TikTok, a giant talent show. Influencers were fun, influencers were creative, but the algorithm, even if you are not somebody that's fun and not somebody that's creative, if you produce one hit, you are in the algorithm, never to be seen again. But to the end user, they are seeing the top 10 hits from everybody. Ultimately, whether we follow these people or not, we have provided the greatest hits related to our areas of interest. I mean, think about it. Obviously, the Kardashians seem to have an interesting life. That is what other people think. I don't watch them. But the finest or the best, America's funniest home video, or a cat doing something funny will always outperform a Kardashian in terms of entertainment per second.
Entertainment per second is the latest metric that every social media or in general a media company is optimizing for. Entertainment per second is what keeps the user hooked. Entertainment per second is what retains the user on that very particular platform or app. Entertainment per second defines whether or not the user will purchase what ad you have shown them. Does that really get their attention? Or does this go out of this thing? Because there is something known as banner blindness. If you understand the whole advertising technology world, banner blindness is what every marketer's worst dream. Keep it in mind, Google what banner blindness is. If you are still in this video, you are a smart guy. Okay, so be proud of yourself. You are fucking smart, smarter than the average guy. You deserve to be financially better than the jokers that perform on TikTok or on Reels. So optimize for that.
And this brings us to TikTok. TikTok was made with the very intention of surprising its users every few seconds. A real human, an influencer like the Kardashians or anybody, cannot keep up with entertaining you every single second. We're human, we tire out. But the algorithm is crowdsourcing all the humans and will never tire out. One of TikTok's key features today, for example, is that it requires no account sign up. New users download the app and immediately begin consuming content. There is zero friction, there's zero learning curve. The only thing that you do is this and maybe hitting the like button. Most people don't even spend time on TikTok commenting. Every 15 seconds or so, the algorithm serves a new video and you get a new emotional high. Now, obviously, there are a lot of short video platforms. There's TikTok, there's YouTube Shorts, there's MX Takatok, there's Instagram Reels. But what makes TikTok different is that it's designed differently. It doesn't show you multiple thumbnails or a bunch of stories where you're overwhelmed by choice. Because it's optimizing for entertainment per second, it only shows you one video only, and that video has been chosen by AI to make sure that you are getting every single.
Now, crowdsourcing a video that allows the most entertainment people on the planet, whoever they are, if they have produced a hit, the AI will optimize for it. And AI is smarter than any human being because it has no logic, it has pure logic and no emotion. It only optimizes for that per second clicks. It optimizes for that view on the screen. It optimizes for someone who comments. And by making the experience as frictionless as possible, they have ensured that people do not really need to sign up, login. They just need to consume. This app has actually made you a consumer or a feeder who will consume without anything. That's the truth of it.
Single second, some dopamine being released in your brain. And in doing so, by removing stories and posts and all the other clutter, the algorithm gets much cleaner feedback about your sentiment. It's very simple. You don't even need to like, you don't even need to comment. If you're spending time on the video, TikTok knows that you have gotten value. And if you average enough people spending time on that video, your retention on the video, that is all that matters. If a video has super high retention, then that video will predictably go viral. And that's what's happening. This is why TikTok is also rotting your brain. Because when people realize that all that matters for the algorithm is having 100% retention, you start moving into more and more extremism. If earlier a creator would go and do a vlog and do something boring, talk about their life, now they're going out and risking their life. A lot of the viral videos that went viral on TikTok this year are all dangerous. For example, one of them was a parachuter whose parachute got stuck, did not open, and the entire death-defying, nail-biting journey that person had going from the top to coming down. Unfortunately, all the creators realized that and are now starting to risk their lives and go towards more gruesome, graphic stuff. Now you might think, why do these creators do this? Why risk your life? Why do more and more extreme things? Why say more and more extreme things? Why become an Andrew Tate and infuriate crowds? What's happening is that TikTok has provided the opportunity for any average person to become famous on their platform.
And it caters directly to the vanity. It literally caters to the vanity in your mind that says that if you become famous, you can do anything. Although that's not the true metric of actually enlightenment or life if you have any general idea of what it is about. But by catering to the vanity of the humans, catering to the power hungry or egoistic thoughts of their humans, you find a way to actually destroy a human being. It's a pure psychological warfare.
Have a chance and get the opportunity to gain traction. You don't need any software, you don't need Premiere Pro, you don't need After Effects, you don't need anything to create on TikTok. It's so frictionless that 1 in 4 users on TikTok create content. While it might be 1 in 1,000 influencers on YouTube creating something, on TikTok, everybody has the chance and their best content is put together. So TikTok no longer needs any of the influencers. TikTok is killing the concept of an influencer because on TikTok, it's simply another day where someone posts slices of bread falling down in perfect sync, or MS Excel tricks, or hacks, or playing trick carom shots in perfect alignment and receives millions of views. The followers itself doesn't matter, but fame today is no longer about followers to most of these young creators. It's simply about the views. They are judged on views, brands judge them on views, everything is in the currency of views. According to Social Blade, over 39,000 TikTok profiles currently have more than 1 million followers, despite TikTok being much younger than YouTube and Instagram. The one thing as a creator that's really hard is to figure out what to create. Like after your first 10, 30, 40 videos, you run out of ideas. But on TikTok, this is not very difficult. You see, if you're presented with a blank canvas or a blank page, it's very difficult to come up with something as an artist. Most people really can't originate ideas. And TikTok understood this extremely well. If you want 1 in 4 people to create, understand that creativity itself stems from the remixing of ideas. There are no
Creativity stems from remixing of ideas. That's the most valuable part that they have spoken in this video, at least for me. For you, I don't know how the video performed. How many views did it get? So this got 1 lakh views. Currently, the channel has 3 lakh subscribers. So over time, the channel grew because it was hit. It grew. Once it hit the ceiling of its growth, maximum growth that it could go, because the wave curve that they had mentioned, it started to stop. People stopped clicking on the video. People stopped liking the video. The retention of the video started going down, and because there were multiple plethora of videos that were coming on the same channel as well as on the platform, this video stopped growing. Although this would have deserved at least 500,000 views, according to me. Creativity is a remix of ideas. Keep this in mind though.
No original ideas. You take an existing one and change it enough for it to be your own idea, and humans have been doing this for centuries. With its distribution and discovery page, TikTok put its trending stuff so out there that you can just press one button and remix someone else's idea. It's what Tanmay Bhatt does for a living. React to other people's already funny content and gain views from that instead of risking his life going out and doing vlogs. Therefore, it's not a surprise that most TikToks are actually duets and just variations of someone else's ideas.
क्या हो गया? My video suck, bro. तेरे को इंडिया के टॉप वीडियो एडिटर बनना है? हाँ के टॉप वीडियो प्रीमियर शिकार 10% की stream, bro.
Now here's where the plot thickens. As of March 2021, the Cyber Security Administration of China has passed a new set of recommendation algorithm regulations that take significant steps in regulating how the technology can be used. In essence, China has complete control over the algorithm and on what you see. Now globally, TikTok has an algorithm which is actually completely different from the Chinese version of TikTok called Douyin. And it wants its youth to consume content featuring people having achieved great feats, kids excelling in math and science, people practicing martial arts. So the Chinese algorithm.
And this is what I was talking about. Again, I will try and reiterate. Chinese version of TikTok, which is called Douyin, promotes their own culture. Chinese culture, they want to promote Chinese culture as a supremacy. Chinese version of TikTok actually promotes science and maths. These are the great achievements that they want each and every citizen to be addicted to. This becomes the baseline standard for everyone to grow. Third, they want to promote people actually achieving great things, such as participating in the Olympics, working hard to actually become a great Olympian, becoming a great athlete. You know, Chinese start training their children at the age of 6 to become an Olympic athlete if they see potential in the child for table tennis or for badminton. That's why they are able to achieve so many medals out there. It's not coincidence. People like to think that there are accidents in this world. There are coincidences. The universe is built in such a manner that coincidences do not exist. Everything is a domino effect of something falling apart. We just as humans are not smart enough to understand what really luck is.
Seems to be related to skill and social development, while the global algorithm is garbage. It is literally content that's rotting your brain. And that brings me to the main topic of this video, which is that there are two versions of TikTok and the algorithm is a black box. We don't know what's happening inside it, but we do know through independent tests that the algorithm in China and the algorithm in the rest of the world is very different, and both versions have completely different goals. An algorithm is not just pure AI without margins or rules, and the rules in China seem to be favoring social and critical development of skills of their children, whereas across the world, it is to make the rest of the world dumber. And that's a pretty good strategy. Now I'm going to stop right there and not jump into conspiracy theory territory. But if I was, for a second, the chieftain of a country that called themselves a dynasty, then the best way or the best idea for me to shut down the development of other countries is to take control of information. It turned out that in war, the most important thing is not having better guns or better missiles. The most important thing in war is to have control over information. Now the data is very clear. Short form content is here to stay. You and I might not like it, but most of the world does. The data is so clear about this. The time on the app is too high. So if a content platform has to win, I would rather favor YouTube or even Instagram, who I don't like so much, to win because I know what the algorithm is doing. I know that across the world, the algorithm is universally the same. I know that YouTube doesn't have a completely different algorithm in the USA and a different algorithm for the rest of the world to make us dumber. But I know that TikTok has been proven multiple times of getting this wrong. Views seems to be the currency that everybody cares about right now. Brands seem to care about views. PR companies seem to care about views. Magazines care about views. Your friends probably care about views. But let me tell you one very interesting anecdote with us. Two creators have given us a shout out in the past before. One was an Instagram reeler. and the other one was a YouTuber. And it turns out that even though both of them at the time of the shout out were roughly the same size, the person who had given us a shout out on YouTube got us 15,000 views, while the person on Instagram only brought us 700 views. In conclusion, attention is cheap these days. In fact, attention is getting more and more diluted. It's easy to grab, even easier to fake. But intention, loyalty, somebody who cares about what you're putting out, is very hard to do. It takes consistency, it takes purpose, and it takes connection with your audience. Which is why views should never be kept on the pedestal, and which is why you should focus on trying to consume as much long form content as possible and break the addiction in your brain, which is short form content. And if you are succumbing to short form content, stay away from any platform whose
So this was the video. It was a hard video. It was a long video. Like watching this 15-minute video was actually headache for me, to be very honest with you, because I understand these things, and for me to just go out there and repeat and reiterate on what they are saying was painful. But the gist remains the same. There are creators who care about you. There are creators who want you to succeed. And then there are creators who don't even care. They don't exist. They are non-playable characters. Instagram content creators that create reels, TikTok content creators, they are only craving for attention. Attention is the cheapest form of candy that should not exist. This is the reason why Puneet Superstar may call himself a superstar. But is he really a superstar? The only thing that he does is that he does good for the rest of the society. Okay. And another thing about China, they call themselves a dynasty, and the name of the whole party that they run is called CCP, Communist uh, CCP, Chinese Communist Party. Yeah, that's the name um, of the party, the only sole party that runs the country. Xi Jinping is the prime minister. Be careful. That's it. Thank you.